All right, welcome back, Sideliners. After the longest hiatus that we've spent in between this season, maybe due to lack of content, maybe due to the fact that basketball has kind of been on the hush hush lately, unless you've been following the Olympics. But
Let's
we're
just call it
back.
a Phil Jackson sabbatical. Let's just call it what it is. We took a Phil Jackson sabbatical.
I decided to take a day off. I mean, the vacation isn't bad every now and then, but we're here. It's your boy Josh, and we're here with Sarvin, coming from
What
the
up? What
coast,
up?
and we're here to talk a little bit, or maybe a lot of bit, about some Olympic basketball because that seems to be the trending topic at the moment. And right now, no one's running the triangle offense. Seems to be a lot of ISO ball going on, and Team USA not looking so hot going against Serbia and Australia. We got a
I'll
break.
put a little bit of stick him on the ball. He got that any given Sunday flow going, man. He's looking like Jamie Foxx.
I don't know which is better, the reaction from Paul George after the Serbia game, or that comment there. But we're gonna break down each game respectively. We're gonna start out. Instead of breaking each game down, actually, let's go ahead and just talk about the competition overall that USA has faced in Group A. Starting out with China, which
Well, do we have to talk about China?
we don't have
Like
to,
that ain't even a game.
but the one surprising thing for
Yo,
me
shout out to you, John Leon.
is that China doesn't have more American based players on their team. You know,
Yeah, they should have a couple imports.
you have two former NBA players that are basically running your leagues in and out in the CBA. Why haven't why haven't we seen Stephon Marbury try to get citizenship and try to play on the Chinese national team? I mean, that would be the smartest thing if you really think about it, to get this team kind of going in the right direction, because being blown out by the entire group by a combined average of 28, 30 points is not really the best thing for, I don't know, for this team. If you're going to be a representative of your part of the nation, start looking for outside help, China. I'm saying, I mean, I know that you guys are doing some bailouts for the US government. Maybe you should look the other way around, and I don't know. Maybe we'll just sell you a couple players for a few years or a couple of Olympics. Get back on top. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that was
moving
weird. My
forward.
bad.
Sorry, dropped off for a little bit, folks.
Yeah, because I heard you, John Leon, and I just had to back out.
Moving forward.
Actually played on the national team when he was younger. I'm not sure. You can fact check that, just like the Kyrie Irving Godfather thing. But
Uh-huh.
he might have played on the national team.
But
But
for the respective regional tournament, or was that for
I
the
think
Olympics?
anytime you do anything Team USA, even if you're like under like if like U20 or something, under 20 or something, like you're
Mhm.
forever USA. You can't switch up.
Interesting.
You
Got a
should
fact.
have probably got Beasley.
Beasley should have. I would have expected Beasley to be on that team, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at the competition for some of these teams, only some, because I mean, when we get to Australia and Serbia in just a second, we'll be switching gears. But for right now, for teams that honestly need help as far as representation and competition in this comp,
Yeah, just pull the USA soccer, USA men's soccer. Go get Julian Green. Go get like whoever you need that has partial fake citizenship and put them on the squad because you got to
is that
compete, man.
easy? I mean, I think it would be that easy to pull that over. But I mean, if you're a really proud country like China, then I would suspect that there would be a little hesitation there as far as who you want representing you.
I mean, yeah, even USA had hesitation with the men's soccer team doing it. They're like, oh, why are we going out getting these players that aren't even from America? Because we got to make the program better, dude. We got to compete. It doesn't matter. Like, I understand national pride and everything, but you
Yeah,
got to win some games,
you got
get
to
some
they got to do
respectability for your program.
you got to do a lot better, China. Moving forward, also within the group, Let's just skip over everyone else. Let's start on Australia. Now, I wasn't a personal witness to this game. I was getting updates by the minute, but
Bogut
Australia,
looks super healthy. Bogut looks super healthy.
which is kind of sad to say because Bogut always starts out the season healthy, and then
I'm
you
talking
know
like Bogut when he first got traded to the Warriors healthy. Like the first play of the game, I believe, was alley-oop from Deladova to Bogut.
there's a lot. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the punchline in that sentence right now.
But I'm saying it's just like you don't see an alley oop to Bogut. Like you didn't see that all the second half of last season. Like he threw it down hard and like he was playing dominant defense. It was some hard nosed basketball from that Australian team.
Well, that's probably a symbol of the level of which you got to play at in the difference between the NBA and the Olympics. And I want to get to that, touch on that in a little bit. But for right now, this team had USA on the ropes for its first loss in group play, which would have been its first loss since losing to Argentina back in the was it the 2004 Olympics or 2008
I think it was the 2004 Olympics.
semifinals?
Gosh,
2004 semifinals.
I wouldn't for semifinals because after that, USA basketball was done with it, and they brought in Krzyzewski real quick after
Mm-hmm.
year, and then since then, that's why it's been like almost a decade, over a decade with Krzyzewski now.
Yeah, there was that weird transition in between. Who was it, Colangelo, and then the Coach K.
Yeah, I mean, Colangelo brought in Coach K because he was like, I don't know what I was doing. I don't even know who coached that Olympic team back in the day, but he was just like, I got to get somebody who's going to reshape this program because we can't be losing games. We lost I think 6 games in those 2 tournaments, 94, 96.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. We've lost 1 game since Coach K's been our coach.
I mean, I don't know if that's a representation of the level of talent or lack thereof.
It's a combination of both his coaching, the system, how we make superstars play roles on the team, and also because everybody's showing out now, except for this year. It's been Dream Team for a while now, except for this year.
Yeah, we're gonna call this one the not so Dream Team because this team was down going late into the fourth quarter.
I call this one I don't call it the Dream Team. I call it the midday siesta team because you know what I mean. They still give you a little bit. It still gets you a little energized, but they're not the full dream.
The daydream team. They're just sitting there thinking about it, and
just think about how Kyrie's going to bail them out or Melo's going to bail them out.
And between that's what I'm pointing to. This is Australia and Serbia. Between those two, so let me ask you, what's Team USA's biggest issue right now?
USA's big, like I said, coming into the tournament is point guard and center, honestly, which is surprising to say because we have Kyrie Irving, and Kyrie Irving just put in a great finals performance, but he's not – him and Lowry are not moving the ball around enough because Kyrie's obviously an ISO player, and we're not moving the ball around, so offense is getting stagnant. And at center, if we have DeAndre in, he's going to get fouled and go to the line, and he's not going to hit those free throws. If we go small with Kevin Durant, sorry Warriors fans, he's not going to protect the rim this year. He just got dunked on by Jokic in the game against Serbia.
I did notice that there were several things that were pointed out on air yesterday during the Serbia game, and you mentioned
Klay Thompson. Why does Klay Thompson look like Harrison Barnes in the finals?
I'm actually about to talk about that in a second. Okay, so there are several reasons why that for anyone that's paying attention to Team USA, wondering how you can go from scoring 100 points on the team to barely touching 90. There's several reasons for this. There's very little time for these players to get together and practice. They're not like international teams, which are together for years on end. Have experience have lots of practices on top of that. They're not playing for multi-million-dollar teams for multi-million-dollar contracts, so the coaches have to limit the amount of practice for these players. So that, all in a nutshell, limits the amount of experience that players can kind of develop a groove.
Let me summarize your point really quick. So yesterday, I think during the game, Serbia game was yesterday, I believe. Yeah, it was. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so they went to Melo during the game, and they were asking or it was Paul George. Oh, what happened? We got stagnant. We're doing a little bit too much iso ball. So we went to some floppy sets so we can move the ball around in the first half as well. A floppy set is like basic in basketball. If you played high school JV, just JV level, you know what a floppy offense looks like. So, like, if that's the most intricate offense they have installed, like, understand that Team USA is they just got to play more of a passing, like more of an open system. Like, well, we don't have a system in place, obviously.
It's easy to say that. The harder part is having
right.
Okay, so you have a combination of 12 ballers that play well within their respective systems, but you have 12. I want to call them, let's say, pseudo alpha guys. I mean, Kyrie he can't be an alpha guy now because it's LeBron's team. Carmelo's an alpha guy.
He's a pseudo alpha guy.
And then you have Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, who are more beta guys because no one's the alpha guy.
Paul George is
Paul George is an alpha. I can say that.
No, he's not an alpha. He's the beta. But I'm DeMar DeRozan, by the way. He's not even anywhere close to an alpha. DeMar DeRozan is nowhere close to an alpha. What I saw from him in the past couple games is like, dude, and what I've seen from him in Toronto, he's not an alpha. He's just really athletic. His game is not developed as much as it should have since he got in the league.
Well, here's to make a long
He's got to be a ball mover. He's got to be a ball mover. That's what it is. People got to understand this isn't your team.
To say that each player has to be a ball mover is a little bit extreme, only because this system, the international system for basketball, is different from that in the NBA. You notice that there is going to be a lot of zone, and players can play a little bit more physical in international play because I don't want to say it's a little bit sloppier, but
it's just more like the 80s NBA.
It is. And
so the fact that we have Boogie. Yes, that's what we have Boogie for. Throw the ball into Boogie,
zone. Dude. I don't know if you noticed during the Serbia game. During the Serbia game, they were playing a lot of zone. They were allowed to have a man kind of sit back and help off on double teams, so screen rolls weren't working as well. I mean, the screen roll is the most basic ball movement type of play, and the USA
the most overused play in the NBA. Honestly, if you think about it, the most sets start off with a pick and roll in the NBA
but
nowadays.
They can't get that established because you see their big men kind of sitting back on the screen roll.
Of course, they know what to do because they don't want to have those open lanes for. Because look, we're way more athletic than any other team. They don't want transition dunks and they don't want half court dunks. They don't want us to flex that. And the thing is, ball movement is something that you can have ball movement without, like, you don't have to move the ball to have ball movement. Klay Thompson was running off screens this year for the Warriors without the ball getting open for Team USA as well. I don't see the issue there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you mean. I mean, the biggest issue I see right now for the U.S. is making.
They don't have a quarterback, man. If they had Chris Paul, they would be set. I think they'd be really set.
Which is another thing that we're
different.
Another point I want to make is that for those that are used to seeing the USA completely dominate and score an average of 40 points all the way through this type of tournament, we don't have the same players as we did in 2012. Point blank.
We don't have the point guards. Not to say that Kyrie isn't a great point guard, but he's a scoring guard.
He is. And you notice
that's what I meant by ball mover. That's what I meant by ball mover. If we had him or if we had Paul, Curry, or honestly, if we had one of those three on the team's efficiency would be way better. And we wouldn't see Melo dropping 30 points. I saw that stat line and I was like, dude, I was happy that he helped us through the game, but you shouldn't be scoring 30 points on the dream team. There's no one player that should be dropping 30 and saving the rest of y'all.
Well, that again is due to a lack of interior presence. I think that if we had someone more like LaMarcus Aldridge, here's one thing that I noticed.
Anthony Davis.
I saw more back cuts by Serbia than I've seen.
We're really missing Anthony Davis right now, dude. He would have killed it.
And again, another case in point. You basically have players on the Team USA playing out of position, and you also have players that for instance, haven't been asked to do half the things that they've been asked to do. So, like DeMarcus Cousins has been asked to play against mobile centers. Everyone knows that when you play an international team and you have a big man, the big man's going to be able to do one of two things: dribble the ball and shoot.
Yeah. So, but my question is, we brought Draymond over, right? Because he's the 5 that can play. He can play any position, defend him, right? I haven't seen much from Draymond. I think the dick pic scandal kind of got him a little bit rattled. Or maybe it's because Carmelo called him "bruh man" from Martin.
Oh no!
That was one of the funniest. That was one of the funniest Snapchats I've seen in my lifetime from an athlete. I was like, "Wow, Melo, you are a real person, and I respect you. I'm a Nets fan. I hate you for being a Knick, but wow, you are chill. You are very chill."
And then that's okay. So you mentioned ball movements are.
But what's up with Draymond? He can't play defense on these mobile 5s? What's up with that? What's the point of even bringing him over then?
Well, again, I think Draymond is used to playing against more stagnant 5s than mobile 5s.
I mean, he plays mobile 5s as well. The thing is, his value is against stagnant 5s because he has the girth to like hold up against the post up, but he's supposed to move his feet anyway. But yeah, we should have totally begged Anthony Davis to come. Even though he shouldn't have played anyway because he's just got to get healthy for the season. I just need one full season from him again.
I mean, the players that we want to play for the U.S. don't play for the U.S. I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is playing for Cuba.
Dominican Republic.
Thanks for the edit. But he's not playing for
I don't think he's going to ever play for them, though. Is he?
The DR?
I don't know about his situation. He might be able to come back to the U.S., but I doubt it. But honestly, he wouldn't make that big of a difference anyway. But it'd be good if DR got a good team.
I think that he would make a difference. I think just his simple presence and his keen eye for the ball, the way that he blocks shots is he's a little bit quicker. His timing, he doesn't rely so much on his timing for blocking shots that are in the air like DeAndre Jordan does. I don't know if anyone saw the goaltend that was called on DeAndre Jordan yesterday, but it was very close. But you could just see
it's still the rim rule, right? Like if the ball's on the rim, you could smack that off and grab it, right?
Well, no. This one was it was like a short hook from someone from Serbia.
No, but I'm saying in general, the rule still in place that you could grab it over the cylinder?
Over the cylinder. Remember that there was another goaltend that where a Serbian player knocked the ball from underneath the rim. So if the ball's on the rim, you can knock it off.
Oh yeah, because European ballers are a little bit dirty with the rules, but honestly, DeAndre should be literally grabbing everything off the rim.
Everything.
I don't get why he isn't getting everything. Like, don't even go for the shot block, dude. If you see a layup that's gonna hit rim, just go for the rim and grab it.
It's a different
mentality. It's instinct, really. What it is. You have to build it in muscle memory to go do that consistently.
And I think that's one of the things that I think that's supposed to help international players because essentially, I mean, with all the changes, with all the differences between the NBA and the and international ball, I think that it's more just about like being able to put the ball simply through the net and not touch the rim than it is about like any type of skill level or anything like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another discussion for another day. Yeah. But we're getting real philosophical about the game and the rules.
But for now, I mean,
Australia held America to get like close. They got 5 pros. I was not surprised by that. They played them hard. I knew they were going to play physical defense, so no surprise. By the way, DeAndre Jordan with that on Deladova, he got his money's worth. He got his money's worth, just like the Bucks got their money's worth. Deladova.
My question for when these teams meet up in bracket play, because the USA and Australia both qualified, basically.
Yep.
My question is for
I think it's gonna be a blowout.
Is Australia gonna be? Oh, so jump in there we go. You got your answer. I mean, over under 30.
I'm gonna say under 30, but it's gonna be like 25, dude.
It's gonna be like a nasty 25, like the beginning of the Serbia game, or
It's going to be like we're going to jump out to 30, and then we're just going to coast, and it's going to end up at 25 because we're going to make it close. Like, we have to make a statement here, and I feel like they are. I want to talk a little bit more about Serbia. Before we get to our women's basketball.
What do you want to talk about, Tar?
I want to talk about this young man, Nikola Jokic, from the Denver Nuggets, who ended up number 3 in the Rookie of the Year voting, I believe, right?
Yes.
This man went to work against whoever they put on him. He hit threes. He got rebounds. He dunked all over Kevin Durant. At the end of the game, with the game on, like with 2 minutes left, he took a three. Boogie ran through him, ran through his body. This man did not complain, flop, or anything. Hit the three, walked down the court. This kid is a problem. He's mobile. He can defend and he can pass. He's a problem. Dude, the Nuggets can literally draft foreign big men with their eyes closed at this point. But they can't draft any other position. That's their problem. Shooting guard, not so much. Yeah, Jokic really – he had a breakout game. He definitely had a breakout game for like the international scene. If people didn't know that he was good, now they know.
I'm surprised that no one would know from before because I knew the name and I knew the kid when as he was playing. I saw him after he got drafted, and the question was how good was he going to be, and he basically came into the league and destroyed at his position.
Yeah, he the glass ceiling was there for him, and he broke through it. But I think this performance shows that he even has more potential than we thought.
Which is great. I mean, we basically have Porzingis on the West Coast, and that's saying a lot because
imagine. Let's say if Jokic was on the Knicks instead of Kristaps, what would have happened last year? I think we would have got the same type of hype, dude.
Same type of hype, and I think he would have won Rookie of the Year
with that New York market, but. Let's not talk about Porzingis right now. I feel bad for the boy. He's got Derrick Rose coming onto the team and a bunch of ball hogs. He might have I think Cortez was telling me. Yeah, he's got the all-usage team. Too bad about the Knicks, though, because I know Cortez is a little bit salty. Cortez was telling me the other day, he's like, man, I heard some crazy dude just said Kristaps might be Sixth Man of the Year this year. And I was like, I hope to God he doesn't, because that means that he has been stunted in his growth. But, yeah, let's go back to Serbia. And shout out to all Knicks tape fans out there.
A shout out to Vlade Divac for basically getting this team together and saying that we ain't scared of the U.S. We've been here before.
We've been in this game for years. It made me an animal. Yeah, but
don't worry about it. And that coach from Serbia, he looked like the most positively influential coach I've seen in a while. And
let's talk about the point guard too, man. Melo. I can't say his last name. Teodosic, I believe. I don't know. I think Mike Fratello also struggled on it. So Fratello's, whoever was announcing struggles on it, I'm allowed to struggle. But yeah, this man is 6'5". Him like 4 or 5 years ago, but he's never come over, and I think that already expired. He's in a contract with CSKA Moscow with no buyout, and he's literally the best point guard that's not in the NBA right now. He can pass. I sent you the play, man. You saw the play towards the end of the game. There's 8 seconds left. He drives down the lane full speed, surrounded by 3 defenders, throws a pass across the court, no look, to a wide open Bogdan. On the money, too, right in the shooter's shot pocket. And Bogdan Bogdanovic, I believe the one that is not on the nets, the other one, just misses it. Absolutely wide open and misses it. And this is one of the 3 or 4 chances they had to tie the game towards the end. I was just like, dude, come on. This is if Ricky Rubio could play like this, the Wolves would be a playoff contender.
It was probably one of those moments where
and you had to see the respect Coach K was giving this dude, man. They were trapping this man in the half court anytime he touched the ball.
Yeah.
Legitimately respecting Melo as a point guard, and it should be. He's 6'4", 6'5", 29 years old, been killing the Euro League. The man is a problem. He's got, I think 2 more years left on his contract, and he's already 29, but I hope he comes over for 1 or 2 years towards the end of his career. It's going to be like a Sabonis-type deal where he, plays great, but we really missed out on his prime.
Let me tell you one thing, though, that I didn't like about the Serbian team, at least the way that they played. The team overall, great. the way that they played this game, I think that they lost this down the stretch by lack.
Yeah, when Jokic took that jumper, dude. Jokic took a weird jumper at the end. They were rushing for
Oh,
some reason. For a team that was still controlled, they were playing. They were playing still controlled.
I don't
Fadeaway he took.
No,
you don't blame him for the fadeaway, dog. Come on, that's like a boogie shot. That's a boogie shot that makes Vlade take his hair out.
Well,
it's a boogie type shot.
Here's the reason is because part of the reason why they got there in the first place was he had the hot hand. There was just no stopping him.
I know he had the hot hand, but the thing was like he was taking open shots within the offense. That shot was not an open shot. That was like an ISO USA Team USA type shot.
I don't think that for the most part, just focusing on that one shot is like.
Yeah, that's definitely not why they lost, but like it was their offense towards the end got rushed and weird. Like they weren't like really seasoned for games.
The last 10, like within the last 30 seconds type of offense, they definitely weren't.
They looked like the Cavs from the first half of last season.
Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm looking at though is the foul trouble that these guys got in, because that slowed down their production tremendously when Rajulika, I think is how you pronounce his name, Miroslav.
Yeah, sorry for all the sorry to all the foreigners, by the way. We are gonna chop and screw your names like we are from Texas right now.
Hey, my name is the easiest, most American name you can probably get. So there's no mispronunciation there, which kind of sucks. So I've had an easy going.
I'm the total opposite of that spectrum, but I should respect these people more, but I don't.
But to my point, Miroslav fouled out, and by the way, 5 fouls and you're out. So I'm surprised that Boogie Cousins has yet to foul out this entire tournament. But
he's got nothing to get frustrated over, man. And the thing is, like, they fouled DeAndre a lot, and they put him on the line, so like they kind of did that to themselves, man.
And the Twitter world blew up when Jokic just kept re-saying, I don't know how you're hitting all these free throws. DeAndre Jordan went 5 for 6 yesterday. Hey,
yeah, I know. That's Doc Rivers was probably home crying. Like, dude, how come you couldn't do this in the playoffs?
Just change the ball. That's all it is. Change the ball.
I think Doc Rivers' voice might have came back after that free throw performance.
Oh my God, he's hitting free throws. That's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Shouts out to Doc Rivers, man.
Shouts out to the man who sounds like he's inhaling and exhaling at the same time while he's talking all the time.
Pick one, Doc.
One last message to Doc Rivers. Please stop coloring your hairline. I hate it past the report and even down your cheek. Like, man, we know you don't got the hair no more. It's all right. Go get this. You are an NBA. You're like Hall of Famer pretty much on your way there, bro. Come on.
Well, the best thing about this Serbian team is that they actually have some NBA talent.
Oh, they had Sabonis' son too on the bench, right?
So. No, I don't think. You're talking about the kid from. I was gonna say
Gonzaga.
Not Gonzaga. There we go. No, he wasn't on the bench.
My bad.
I was like, I think it would have been a completely different game if he was playing.
I haven't seen Lithuania play yet in the tournament, but he could be pretty good. He's got the post moves. He's got the passing like his dad, slow-footed and can't shoot the rock from 3. But whatever. Let's get back to Serbia. But yeah, Serbia has a lot of NBA talent, man.
Serbia is pretty great NBA talent-wise. The question on my mind is if they're actually going to qualify, because if they do, they may end up playing the United States. Right now, standing.
I want to see that run back.
They're 4th in the standings right now, and they're tied with Venezuela.
Well, Finland's the first seed, right? Yeah, USA is going to be playing the number 4 seed from the other bracket, right?
From the Group B. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's how it works out. Like the last seed from the other bracket plays the first seed from.
Yeah, so if you have to,
you have like Brazil. You're like Brazil and like teams like that are in that area. So people in the bottom of that bracket are going to have a crazy scrum to not play USA in the first round.
It would be basically one. So if anyone's paying attention, this is basically 1 through 8. So just like in the NBA, 1-8 is like top seed versus bottom qualifying seed. It doesn't matter what group you're in. And right now, standings are USA is on top with 8 points in their group. Australia is up there with is tied for France at 7. So after that, then Serbia is hanging around, but they're tied with Venezuela.
Shout out to Croatia, by the way. That game against Spain, woo!
That must have been like a huge heartbreaker. And I mean,
my brother's best friend is a Croatian, and he was literally on the phone with me for the whole second half of that game.
He's like, you're not seeing this.
They're good at. Dude, he's like, dude, I told you Croatians could ball. And you know how like they have a great soccer team, they kind of fail at the Euros, and he's like, this is the Euro comeback. Forget about the Euros. We're about to get a medal. And I was like, dude, chill out. It's one game against an old Spain team. It's not even it's group play still. Let's handle it a little bit. But Croatians would get a little bit fiery.
So most likely opponent for United States right now.
We're getting the 1 seed.
Maybe Spain. Spain.
We'll take them out easy.
Spain right now is tied with Brazil at 4 points all in their group, and from what I can see,
I think we have to wait on the Argentina-Spain game, the Argentina-Brazil game. I think, yeah, when that happens today, I believe. After that, we'll have a little bit of a clearer picture of what's going to go down.
Exactly, because if Brazil wins, then that puts them back in the mix for qualifying. No, wait. Yeah, that would put them in a tie.
Yeah, so pretty much that game's going to pretty much settle this thing out and like see where we're going to go from this point forward. But USA is not worried about anybody that they're playing, honestly.
Are you sure? I mean, like, is that
they're worried more about? I think they're more worried about like how they've been playing as a unit. Like they don't really play against the other team, man. It's like the battle with Team USA has always been like the role that you're supposed to fill.
Mm-hmm.
You have to like iso ball is like the epidemic that almost ruined AAU basketball and like youth basketball in America. This is the same thing that translates to the NBA. Why do you think the Spurs won that year against the Heat? That was all ball movement the second year. That rematch, that was all ball movement.
It was some nasty ball movement, I can tell you that. Like when every player
That's what I'm saying. That's some Euro basketball. And guess what? That kid Melo from Serbia, the point guard, he said, I play for 2 teams. And guess what the first one was? The San Antonio Spurs. Because they play Euro ball. But yeah, the problem has always been with just playing to the system. And that's why I really miss Chris Paul, man. He was just the perfect quarterback. Curry was pretty good at it too, and obviously LeBron can quarterback any team, even the Cleveland Browns.
Shout out to the Cleveland Browns for
shout out to Johnny Manziel for having an Illuminati tattoo on his arm.
Quarterbacks and coaches just cycling in and out. But no, I think that you're absolutely right. USA is playing against them, is beating themselves up right now. They're trying to figure this out as each game goes along, and it's essentially like it's a pickup game. There's no other way to describe it. You get your best 5 guys in the court, and you hope that you can run as many games as you can. Every now and then it looks like you just might lose one, but you eke it out, and you got to sit there and look and think to yourself, okay, last game I did this and with this guy and it kind of worked, whereas the time before I tried this thing and it didn't work. Like I'm sitting there and I'm wondering why we haven't been using a lot more off-ball screens.
It doesn't make any sense. It's a basic concept of basketball. Coach K knows about it, but I guess like he's just like, you guys are all superstars, and I'm not going to get on your bad side, so just rock.
Well, they're doing a lot of on-ball screens. on-ball screens are what their biggest issue is because teams are clogging the paint.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
just
you clog the paint. It doesn't make no sense. Coach K sees this. We see this. If we see it, he definitely sees it. But the thing is, for me, one last note, it's like pretty much when you play NBA 2K and you're playing with like the Bulls from '97 or like the East All-Stars, you don't play a real game of basketball. You don't run an offense. You just go with the guy that has this is a superstar, use the turbo button, try to dunk everything and hit threes. You don't try to run an offense. That's the thing. That's what it looks like I'm watching when I watch Team USA. Like a 12-year-old playing 2K with the Eastern All-Stars, pretty much.
who is leading this team right now, in your opinion, Sarv? Who's the leader?
The leader. I mean, it's definitely got to be Melo because he roasted Draymond very well with that bromance. He did not go along with that sing-along thing they did with the Vanessa Carlton song, and obviously he saved us against Australia. He put the whole team on his back though, and he's like the most senior member. I think it's Carmelo and Kevin Durant are the leaders, and I don't know if I really love Kevin Durant as my leader after his lack of mental toughness in this free agency decision, I want to say.
Well, from a basketball perspective, do you think that Carmelo Anthony it has been the most productive player this tournament so far?
He's definitely played his role the best, and I feel like the only misstep he's had is that comment he made about how his gold medals will ease the pain of never having a championship in the NBA. Because I think that was just like a vote of confidence to the Knicks organization.
I completely and wholeheartedly agree. I saw that quote, and then
that was a really weird quote. I was really weirded out by that. I was like, dude, like you guys just spent mad money, and like you said you were happy. Like he said he was happy about the signings, and then like you just send this weird like Phil Jackson type low key like insult. Like that's a Phil Jackson type comment, you know what I mean? Like Phil Jackson would say some backhanded comment like that. Like he's learning a little too much from Phil.
Or maybe it's an age thing. Like you know how
no, he gets it though. Yeah, he's towards the end of his window, and he's not gonna. That team can't get rebuilt that many times anymore.
I think that was his 30 plus year old self saying,
he's realistic. He's being realistic about it. That comment was Kyrie's comment. The only thing that was weirder than that comment was Kyrie's comment. He was like, I put my Olympic medals on the same level as my championship. Like, dude, what? You just won your first championship. You don't even know what that means to you right now. You hit a shot to win the series. How is that the same thing as a gold medal?
Maybe there's
that you're going to get every time.
There's context in that because if you really think about it, you're putting in as much effort to win a medal as you do an NBA ring. And so
but an NBA ring is against stiffer competition, and it's not promised every year. Every Olympics, it's pretty much a given that you're going to get a gold if you're Team America, on Team America.
Yeah, that's going to bring me to my next point is that
what have you missed the last 11 years? Last 10 to 11 years?
Where has the world gone for the men's side? Where has the world gone as far as competition? Like why is it that
trending downwards, man? I think it's trending downwards, honestly. Their talent is trending downwards worldwide.
Between the FIBA and overall Olympic play, the U.S. has not looked back ever since
Coach K came in.
Ever since Athens, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. And the thing is, like, that there's this thing. It's the Argentinian golden generation got old. Spain's golden generation is now old. And there isn't the new threats to America have not stepped up yet. That's it.
China hasn't had anything.
We have like a couple players on each team. Like Australia has 5 NBA players. Serbia look great, but there hasn't been another golden generation from a country to.
Like what about Russia?
What about Russia, man? I need to see some guard play. I need to see some wing play.
I mean, we've had players come from. You know, maybe
they should let Russia and like all the former Soviet Union countries form one team, like a USSR team, like retro.
That actually would be something a lot more interesting. I think that it just to sort of and I don't want to say to increase the level of talent because I don't want to take away from how talented
like continental teams, like all of Europe together, all of Russia, Asia together, all of Africa together, all of South America together versus North America. Well, Canada can have its own team, I guess, but because they're not going to really make our roster.
No, I would disagree. I think that there are some players that are from Canada that would make the U.S. team.
Not the current setup, unless we went to an under 25 only setup.
Well, U25 Canada is definitely a lot more dominant than.
That's what I'm saying. I think that Olympic basketball should be changed to U25 for at least for USA policies. Like, stop bringing in the All-Star teams. I love the Dream Team concept and stuff like that, but dude, I kind of want to watch something more interesting.
So you want to go back to the days where like Carmelo, or where they used to invite 2 college players, and then like they had the Adam Morrison and
like you remember Carmelo's first one? Yeah, when he wasn't even allowed to play that much, and LeBron was there too.
I remember that
because they had what did they have? Allen Iverson, whoever else at point guard.
Mm-hmm. I remember that season because it was like they were talking about
they didn't let the young Bulls play. They didn't let the young Bulls play, and that's why we lost.
They were talking about how this is this new program where we want to try to introduce two of the top incoming players into the NBA to try to get.
Yeah, it was like a revamping of the Christian Laettner thing. They're like, we fucked up with Laettner, so we're gonna do this thing where we're bringing 2 young guns and premiere them. Anthony Davis was like that premier player too.
And it would have been nice. I don't know. I don't want to. Here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to sit there and say, okay, we'll give you lesser competition to try to make the basketball games more interesting. But when you have an entire crowd, minus those that are supporting the USA, minus the 10% of people that were in that crowd, supporting the other team just because your team is so dominant, I think that says a lot more about how the IOC needs to view competitiveness, because that is one of it's the spirit of competition that we bring to the Olympics.
I know, but the thing is, like, we should develop the younger players more. So let's make it 25, the oldest you can be. If you're in the NBA, you can still play, but 25 is the cutoff date. It's cutoff year, and let's get it more competitive. And shout out to the IOC, and because this whole doping with Russia, like, this whole thing has tainted the whole Olympics. And I love that girl, the Lily King, the swimmer, who called out the Russian. First, she did the finger wag in the semifinals for qualifying, and then she went on the podium after winning the gold when this Russian won the silver. Pretty much still giving her the stank face through the media. Like, big ups to Lily King. She really put on for like non-doping.
Well, it's moments like that where I think that, it's great.
That's an iconic moment. I think it's going to be an iconic moment in history.
It's a great moment, but I think it's reasons like that why entire crowds are rooting against Team USA, because we're so damn dominant, and there's no two ways about it. I mean, this team.
That though, like, what did we do? Like, we didn't even expect our women's swimming team to be that good this year. You know what I mean?
It's
like it just happened.
And I'm nobody, so I'm just armchair quarterbacking right now, but we put in our B squad.
But yeah,
we have
I've
a
just been
B squad this year.
Yeah,
there's
our
no
B squad this squad A- squad, I think, or B+ squad. To be honest,
and we're still winning, and that's at least the games are getting closer now, and I'm not going to lie. I rooted for Serbia yesterday. I rooted for Serbia not because I didn't want to see.
I was also rooting for Serbia. I was trying to see how the Nets could get Melo as our point guard, and what kind of trade we could swing for Jokic. Honestly, but then I realized we have no assets.
I just don't understand how teams that have been playing together for so long haven't been able to. There was So let me put it this way. Here's how I know that the world isn't really paying attention right now, and they're just kind of hoping that someone will develop as the years come through. There's a swimmer. For anyone that saw the Michael Phelps picture with the kid that won from Singapore yesterday, not only did the kid from Singapore follow Phelps, an American, as an icon and someone to model his swimming after, and then he ended up beating Michael Phelps 8 years later. But
I just want to point out the Drake line. The Drake line. You got to AI when your idols become your rivals. You got to AI. You got to crossover MJ. What was the line again? It was it's crazy when your idols become your rivals. You got to crossover MJ. You got to AI MJ for your own survival, like something like that. But sorry for the rap quote, but
No,
that's like one of those moments. Like, yeah, that was crazy to see.
But I think that's part of the problem. I think that the world's getting halfway. They're just idolizing all these guys, and they're like, "Oh, I see you, and I know about you." And they think in their head, if they just hype themselves up, that they'll be able to beat these teams. And it's not just about a mentality thing. I just don't think that players international
program mentality thing, and it's an individual program player thing. Like they got to get a couple foreign Kobe's popping off. Like people who are just born with that natural. Like I don't care that you're a superstar because I'm gonna be a great superstar too one day.
No, the talent is one thing, which is nice. But that's what I'm saying that countries are relying on. I think the problem is that they're not taking tape of these players, how they're working out, the moves that they do. No one's sitting there studying that game and saying, okay, we need to develop our players specifically to be able to do stuff like this. No one.
Yeah, because the thing is, they have around the world they have soccer academies, youth academies for soccer, and they're developing players for soccer. The way we do basketball here, that's the real difference. Until they develop the infrastructure like AAU and stuff like that, but not like our corrupted AAU, but like let's say soccer academies style, they won't be able to touch us.
Basically, I just want to say, dear world, for anyone that's sitting there listening and watching right now on the tuned in, what the U.S. needs to do for soccer, the world needs to start doing for basketball. I mean, for a little while, there were leagues out in the Middle East, and for a little bit in parts of China where basketball was developing. Players were leaving from college or decided to skip college, go play internationally, were better players, and then came back to the U.S. That said a lot about those That said a lot about those programs out there globally. But those markets and those programs have since either declined or vanished completely. We don't hear anything about them. Dear world, get your act together and get back on those programs again, because I would personally like to see some team not named the U.S. come through and dominate, and because all we're sitting there doing is did anyone watch the 800-meter swimming race yesterday?
Yeah. I think we're getting a little bit off track here, and I just want to do one more thing about swimming. I want to shout out to Simone Manuel, the first black woman to win a gold medal in an individual swimming event for the USA. Historic moment. Please don't overlook these people. I know Michael goes. I know he's got a crazy career, but I want you guys to remember Simone Manuel because she has done something that the community has been pushing for so long. She literally killed the stereotype last night, and this is a moment that is going to be remembered. Should be remembered just as highly from this Olympics as Michael Phelps' accomplishment.
A lot of things are going to be remembered.
And all right, I gotta roll real quick. So can we transition to women real quick right before I dip out, my man?
Oh yeah. So speaking of women's basketball, U.S. basketball is basically what's going on right now in men's basketball. U.S. is just
wait. No, let's talk about the women's basketball is like the original dream team right now.
Right now,
how they're playing is right now. They're blowing people out
now.
Diana Taurasi, that's Bay right there. Like not even in like a sexual way. Like shout out my girlfriend. Don't get jealous right now. She's listening. Like that is just she's just Bay right there. I don't even like using the word Bay, but she is just literally. If you put her in like Gerald Green's body, her brain in Gerald Green's body, you'd have the most dominant NBA player like of this era probably. Shout out to LeBron, but nobody. She got the Kobe mentality. But
so
wow,
right now
what a squad though.
We're wondering if you put the United States versus the Philadelphia 76ers, who will win in a 7-game matchup.
Let's think about this for a good 5 seconds. Wait, I don't need 5 seconds. It would be a sweep. USA Women's against the Sixers. Look at this. We looked at the roster before. We got Brittany Griner at the 5. She's blocking shots. She's dunking the ball. That's great. Brianna Stewart. She's a stretch four. That's a better stretch four than the Sixers have right now. Neither of their fours, Ben Simmons or Sarge, can't shoot threes. This girl can shoot threes. She's dirty. We know this. Then we go to the three. We decided on Diana Taurasi at the three because she is obviously the GOAT of all women.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had Maya Moore at the one. Can't mess with Maya. And who did we have at the two? I forget.
Elena Delle Donne.
Ella Don. Delle Donne. She's nasty too. That's a 6'5" shooting guard. So pretty much, and then at backup we got Sylvia Fowles, 6'6" at center, and they got a couple other great veterans. Like you got Sue Bird off the bench, Tamika Catchings, who's 37 and still getting buckets, and like, dude, this team is stacked. And then you have Gino Auriemma, who's, no offense to, who's the coach of the Sixers now? Oh, Brett Brown. Oh, still the same coach, right?
Still the same coach. Same coach.
Still the same coach, and Gino Auriemma is still 100 times better than him.
And I think, I'd say the Sixers will take one game, and the Sixers.
Okay, let's give them one game. Let's take one game because, like, literally,
due to I think the Sixers' biggest problem, other than discipline, is injury, but. I think you're looking at the most unhealthy, most undisciplined team versus the most healthy, most disciplined team ever. And that'd definitely be. I'll give the Sixers a game.
Game just because of the wing depth, like because the athleticism on the wing, the women really can't match up with. But then again, I don't even know. Maybe Taurasi would have a flu game and just like help them win that one game. Because I don't put it beyond her. Her and Maya Moore, that's a killer combo. Delle Donne. She could shoot the rock too, man. Like, this team is talented. Like, women's basketball is gonna get very interesting very soon. It just sucks that
more got stroked.
It just sucks that Russian leagues are like taking all their best players. Like Diana Taurasi didn't even play in WNBA last year. Like,
nope.
You can't be letting that happen. Magic Johnson needs to buy a couple of like the league or something and like revamp it. We need somebody with hella money and vision to like revamp this women's league because it's gonna be popping very soon, man.
Support your local WNBA team.
But I will not watch women's soccer. Like, no women's MLS. I don't want to see that.
Women's MLS probably not going to happen, but the male
MLS is not even happening.
If it's basketball, hey, ball is life.
Yeah, ball is life, even if you got to dribble it with your feet. I'm signing out. This is Samo. You got a couple other sections of this podcast coming up with my boy Mike and I believe Mickey.
Mickey will be coming up, and they're going to be talking a little bit more about women's basketball and Olympics and maybe a little bit of Melo. For anyone that's tuning in right now, hey, we appreciate you coming in.
Josh will keep you posted, and he'll do this little transition to the next section. Peace out, guys.
Take care.
Yes.